The federal government is reinstating the death penalty. The first man scheduled to die by lethal injection has ties to crimes and criminals in eastern Washington. Danny Lee was convicted for killing a family back in 1996. Amanda Rowley with our sister station in Spokane explains his ties to his accomplices in that area.
Danny Lee and the Kehoe brothers, Chevy and Shane, were devoted members of the Aryan People's Republic, a white supremacist organization. Their illegal activities included the bombing of Spokane City Hall, the murder of an Arkansas family, and a shootout with Ohio police. The pipe bomb that exploded was packed with 3-inch nails. It exploded in the doorway of Spokane City Hall. No one was there at the time and no one was hurt. In 1996, an Arkansas family was found brutally murdered. Chevy, Kehoe, and Lee were both convicted of their murder, which was part of a plot to start a white-only nation.
Accusations of sexual assault against one of President Trump's top military nominees.
Army Colonel Catherine Splett-Stoser stepping forward to publicly detail sexual assault allegations against her former boss, Air Force General John Hyten, the man nominated to become the military's second most powerful leader. Stoser told the New York Times that after a full day at a defense forum in California in December of 2017, Hyten knocked on her hotel room door in the evening, saying he wanted to talk. Once inside, Splett-Stoser said he pulled her to him and kissed her on the lips while pressing himself against her, leaving semen on his sweatpants and on her yoga pants. She said he inappropriately touched her several times earlier in 2017 and that he later was often apologetic afterwards, including after the alleged incident in California.
The world's largest technology and social media companies are coming under increased pressure across the globe to put their houses in order. This time it's Australia that wants to slap stiffer regulations on the likes of Facebook and Google.
These companies are among the most powerful and valuable in the world, and they need to be held to account, and their activities need to be more transparent.
So right now, Australia is looking to make the high-tech giants address concerns around issues like privacy, advertising and the spread of fake news. In fact, there's a 12-week public consultation period ahead there now, and the firms say they are willing to engage with the government on that, but they say there's no direct comment on the proposed regulations before it. Now, on Wednesday, Facebook was slapped, meantime, with a $5 billion penalty by US lawmakers over privacy breaches. And over in the UK, politicians are also blamed the social media site for a rise in fake news.
In the Christian quarter of Jerusalem's Old City, the Imperial Hotel, built by the Greek Orthodox Church, has welcomed pilgrims and tourists for 130 years. The property is one of 3 now in the hands of a settler group called Ateret Kohanim.
This is my father with King Hussein.
The Dajani family has managed the Imperial for 70 years. They've been served with an eviction notice. Abu Walid Dajani says only pressure from the Jordanian, Palestinian and Greek governments can save them.
If they fail, my dear friend, then I'm sorry to say that one day, I hate to say that Jaffa Gate, Umar ibn al-Khattab Square, will be in the hands of these settlers if I don't see or nobody cares about what is happening now.
South Africa is the continent's most industrialized economy and one of Africa's worst polluters. Its economy relies heavily on coal, a dirty fossil fuel, to produce electricity. Environment groups say these towering coal-fired power stations release dangerous carbon emissions every day into the atmosphere. The government introduced a carbon tax law earlier this month requiring big polluting companies to pay tax each time they emit greenhouse gases. Those in favor of the tax hope it'll be enough of a deterrent. South Africa's emissions amount to 8.9 tons per person every year. The World Bank says that's among the highest in the developing world. It's ranked among the dirtiest energy producers in the world, number 16 on the global emissions list. South Africa has signed the Paris Agreement on climate change and committed to an emission reduction of 34% by 2020 and 42% by 2025.
Our top story this evening, amid the trade spat between Seoul and Tokyo, South Korean government officials are busy trying to rally the international community to its cause. The country's trade minister returned from a trip to Washington and said her U.S. counterpart had agreed on the severity of Japan's trade curbs and its global impact. Our Lee Ji-won starts us off.
South Korea's Trade Minister Yoo Myung-hee completed her 5-day trip to the U.S. Saturday morning in an effort to raise awareness on the global impact of Tokyo's trade restrictions on Seoul.
I met with U.S. economic and trade authorities. The outcome of the trip, I believe, was broadening the thought and understanding that Japan's trade restrictions on South Korea not only affect bilateral ties but also U.S. industries and the global supply chain as well.
We are tracking the breaking news out of the central coast of British Columbia. Emergency officials are on the scene of a float plane where a crash has taken place and 4 people have been confirmed dead. CBC's Megan Batchelor is watching this story for us. So Megan, tell us what we know at this stage.
So Natasha, like you mentioned, we know that 4 people have been killed in this float plane crash off the coast of central BC. 5 people have survived. We don't know what kind of condition they're in, but we do now know that 5 people survived, 4 people were killed. A total of 9 people were on board that plane. So let's take a look at just where this happened. It was off the coast on Addenbrooke Island, and this is off the coast of central BC. We know that the plane, it was a charter plane that was on its way to Calvert Island, which is that large island just to the west of Addenbrooke Island. We don't know exactly what happened leading up to this. This is an image of a plane that is similar to the one that was involved in this crash.